The world now has access to Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos' lives, where they share their joy, family, and laughter. But a sad new chapter has begun in their story. Viewers all throughout the country were taken aback by Kelly Ripa's emotional speech. The painful truth of an untimely goodbye was among the topics she covered, along with love and grief. This is not just about a famous person. To feel this way is to be very human. A woman facing the horrible possibility of abandoning the man who has supported her through thick and thin. Follow me all the way to the finish because Kelly's story has a surprising upbeat turn that will leave you in tears. Many of us saw Kelly and Mark as more than just TV personalities. They were the ones who showed us that love can last a lifetime. Their journey together was filled with adventure, love, and happiness, from their humble beginnings on All My Children to the joys of parenthood. They were a reflection of our own relationships and a reminder of the deep bonds we create with those we care about. But let me tell you the truth. There will be ups and downs in every relationship. The catastrophe struck without notice, jeopardizing the life that Kelly and Mark had painstakingly constructed. Like many health worries, it began with minor warning signals in moments that are easy to ignore. Mark was exhausted. He ignored it. Kelly noticed it, but she thought it was simply stress. Suddenly, Mark's health had a scary turn on an otherwise normal evening. A jolt of agony, a brief period of frailty, and suddenly, the air in the room was thick with fear. Something was seriously wrong, according to Kelly's gut. Anxiety became a permanent resident of their home at that point and has never really left. Just a few hours later, Kelly found herself strolling through the hospital's sterile corridors. The sky was lit up by dazzling lights. The hum of equipment permeated the air as doctors rushed about. The terror, she said, was weighing her down. Despite my best efforts, I just couldn't bear it. The burden followed. The burden that never ends. The moment of truth has arrived. The news that the physicians ultimately broke changed their lives irrevocably. A question that forced them to face the most excruciating dilemma of their lives. Could it be that our time together is less than we anticipated? Nobody was hoping to hear the diagnosis. An extremely dangerous disease was threatening Mark's life. It was as if the ground had given way beneath Kelly. All of her safety, joy, and companionship were broken in an instant by a precarious and scary lack of assurance. I wanted to crumble, but I knew it wouldn't help him, she said afterwards. Even when I thought I could give him nothing more, he insisted that I keep my cool and be strong. It was the beginning of a chapter that would test her faith, love, and resilience to the fullest. Kelly then told everyone about her battle with the world. She spoke in a weak and tearful voice, and her words were plain but devastating. She pointed out, "If this is goodbye, I need him to know he was my entire world, my joy, my anchor, my safe harbor." Any and all fans might relate to those remarks. Reason being, they weren't performance art. They were genuine. They conveyed the raw anguish of a lady who has loved a man her entire life and is now faced with the risk of losing him. Something else was still there, though, within those terrible words. Feeling grateful for something. Much appreciation for the years that had passed. For all the times she had gotten out of bed with him and the memories they had made. Kelly was dealing with the emotional fallout, and Mark was fighting for his life. His medical team mapped out a challenging course of action. Medications, substantial changes to one's way of life, and ongoing monitoring. Clear progress was made on several days. On some days, obstacles were devastating. Mark, though, would not give up. It was Kelly's life's mission, inspired by her own tears, to make sure he never had to battle alone. Even on the worst of nights, she was there to hold his hand. As fear gripped her, she murmured encouraging words. She continued to be his rock. However, another crisis, a startling setback that jolted them to their core, appeared just as they were beginning to settle into a new routine. Deepest part. Mark was taken back to the emergency department by Kelly in a flash one night. Complications had shown up unannounced. In retrospect, she says the drive was the worst of her life. Every traffic light seemed to last forever. It seemed like every second may be their last. It was in that sterile hospital room, with all those machines, that Kelly confessed to breathing a prayer of desperation. "Please, just allow me a little more time. Give it a bit longer." She faced the possibility of saying goodbye that night. Additionally, she uncovered a hidden source of strength that she had never previously been aware of. Faith became Kelly's safe haven in the days that followed. Before making an appearance on television, she prayed in various places, including hospital waiting rooms, her dressing room, and the quiet of her automobile. Then an extraordinary event started to take place. Her support came from viewers around the country. Messages of optimism arrived in the thousands of letters. A whole town started praying with Mark's name in it. Dear Kelly, as she sat by his side, Kelly could feel the tangible impact of the collective hope. She and Mark were no longer the only ones facing the world. Millions of hands seemed to be supporting them. For hours, she perused the correspondence of complete strangers. An Ohio grandma whose 50-year marriage had also been through a difficult time. A young man hailing from Texas who said that their fictional romance helped him believe in his own relationship. Their sterile hospital room became a haven of shared human goodness as each message served as a thread in a large tapestry of support that encircled them. Despite his frailty, Mark could see that she had changed. A furious, unyielding determination was gradually superseding the raw terror that had been staring back at her. When he witnessed the power she was channeling from this release, he felt compelled to do the same. There appeared to be a noticeable emotional shift before a physical one. The physicians had braced them for the worst after the terrible setback that had sent him back to the hospital. However, a shift occurred in the days that ensued. With limited success at first, a novel combination of treatments eventually gained traction. The figures on the monitors, which used to make me anxious all the time, started to level out and then, astonishingly, started to get better. As he paused to examine the chart, a doctor on his morning rounds seemed little taken aback. Just keep doing what you're doing, he said, Kelly. Something has changed. After waiting a week, the real turning moment occurred. After struggling to sit up, Mark eventually stood up and walked the entire length of the hospital corridor while holding Kelly's hands firmly. Even though it was only a small distance, the stroll felt like a lifetime away. Retracting their steps from the brink, they were resuming the life they had always dreamed of leading together. There were still many obstacles to overcome on the path ahead, but the crushing anxiety of saying farewell was at an all-time high. At last started to go. They were able to find some quiet time to reflect on what had happened months later when Mark was home healing. The anticipated and motivating turn of events finally materializes at this point. They understood that the lowest point in their story had also provided them a tremendous blessing, a renewed sense of direction. Despite their fear and isolation, they were fortunate to have access to vast resources and a worldwide network of allies. In the midst of praying for a loved one's life, they spoke of the innumerable families who endure the same dread without any kind of safety net, who walk the icy halls of hospitals by themselves, and who fret about medical expenses. No longer trembling with fear, but with a voice fortified by purpose, Kelly divulged their decision in a subsequent interview. She stated, "We were given the gift of more time," as she firmly grasped the marker, "and we realize that this blessing is for more than simply us. Right now, we need to do all we can to offer those people fighting for their life the same hope and sense of support that we have received." A new charity called the Anchor Foundation was announced. Its mission is to help families that are hit hard by unexpected severe health crises, both financially and emotionally. A public mission of hope had grown out of their personal experience of loss. The love story of Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos has long been an inspiration, but it has recently expanded beyond the confines of their survival. Their greatest suffering may become a lighthouse if they made the most of their second opportunity to leave a legacy of kindness.